Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a subscriber, thanks very much. If not, consider hitting the subscribe button and let's get into this video. In this video, I want to cover the state of the Swiss job market. Well, the watch job market. It is not good. 15 to 20% layoffs across the board and 40 subsidiary companies using a furlough scheme currently to subsidize the downturn in demand for their services. I also want to cover this watch. Yeah, I made another mistake. And I want to cover Deal of the Week. So let's just get Deal of the Week out of the way, shall we? Over to you, Brennies. Now that time, guys, it's time for Deal of the Week. 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 Thanks very much, guys. Right, so the first watch on Deal of the Week is a two-tone Rolex Submariner, the opposite to the bluesy, the black and gold sub. A gorgeous watch, a very underrated watch. Now, this one is a 2024 unworn reference number 126613LN. There's not much I can say about this watch, so I'll make this very quick. Full set, mint condition. Now the current MSRP of the watch is £14,200. It is. Gold is at an all-time high. So Rolex put their prices up a couple of months ago, just in case you didn't know. The Swiss Link is selling this watch for below MSRP. They are selling it for £13,500. But this is Deal of the Week. On Deal of the Week, we're going to offer this watch to a lucky subscriber for 13 grand dead. That's a good deal if you ask me. If you're looking for this watch and you want an unworn 2024, there you go, guys. A saving of £1,200 if you quote this week's reference number, which is reference number 14, guys. Pretty simple, 014. Now the second watch on Deal of the Week is a GMT Pepsi. It's a real Pepsi. I'll explain afterwards. It's a Pepsi 16710. It is naked, guys. When I was talking about naked, the Swiss Link were going, well, it's got a service card. I said, I know it's got a service card, but it's still naked. It hasn't got the original box or papers. So I would call it naked with service papers. I just wanted to make sure that all of you are aware what that means. I hope this clarifies it. It's a GMT Pepsi reference number 16710, naked. Spoke to the Swiss Link about the service paperwork, and they confirmed that when it was serviced with Rolex, they confirmed it is an original Pepsi. That's really important to know, because in the olden days, you could swap the bezels out very quickly. What's good about having the service card from Rolex is they confirmed this watch is an original Pepsi. In the past, you could buy a Coke or an all-black bezel GMT and you could swap the bezel out to a Pepsi, the most popular one. Over time, the Pepsi became the one that sold at a premium. If you had a Coke, it sold less for a Pepsi. It just did. So to have a service card from Rolex confirming that this naked watch is a real Pepsi is a bonus, guys. Now, the Swiss Link are currently selling this very good condition Rolex GMT Pepsi for £8,450. For a naked Pepsi with a service card, I still think that's quite reasonable considering the condition of this watch and the condition of its bracelet. However, at the time of producing this video, the watch is not on the website, guys, and I don't know if it will be on the website by the time this video goes out. If you want this watch, you better be really quick, and you better get on the phone to Dan and quote reference number 014, or just tell him 14, or tell him Brenny sent you. Whichever way you want to do it, but you better be quick. I rounded it down to 8k, and the Swiss Link said fine. So we're going to sell this watch for £8,000, but that's only £450 off what the Swiss Link is selling it for, and that's not good enough, guys, because it's deal of the week. I wanted to push it a bit more, and I got them down by another 50 quid. So this naked Pepsi is now, if you quote reference number 014, £7,950. Deal of the week, but you better be quick. Well, guys, I messed up. I really messed up. If I was allowed to swear, I would say a lot worse. Yeah, I got the Swiss Link to get me this watch, and I just don't like it. I don't like the bloody thing. It's now too tight on the wrist. It's literally strangling my wrists, and then when I put it on, it's too loose, and it's got no micro adjust on the clasp and no half links, and no matter what I do, I cannot get this watch to fit my wrist properly, my 6 3/4 inch wrist. This watch is for the bigger wristed guy. It just is, guys. Now, I reached out to my Tudor AD. Guess what? That 5-link bracelet is still not orderable. So let me carry on with slagging this watch off. It's just too heavy. It is 186 grams. It's a wrist monster. I recently put it on my ankle just for a joke, and it suits my ankle perfectly. But I can't wear this watch on my ankle, guys. I just can't. So what I've decided to do is I've decided not to sell it. I have decided to trade it. If you've gotten this far, you now know that I've sold this watch back to the Swiss Link, to Dan, for 3k. Well, I traded it in. He gave me 3k back towards another watch, which you'll see in a future video. So if you're clever and you get on the phone, you could have this watch for £3,000. Do your research. This is a full set reverse panda on a bracelet. The only reason I don't like it is it's too big for my wrists, and it's just too heavy, guys. It always was, but I needed to get that out of my system. I still think this is the nicest one. It's the most legible one also, because it's deal of the week, and I think it'd be funny to wind Dan up, and you're going to have to tell him to watch this video to prove this, but I don't think that's fair, Dan. I think you need to give him a cheeky discount on this watch. So instead of Brenny paying 3k for the watch, my subscribers should only pay $2,900 for the watch. Dead. But you better be quick. You better quote the reference number 014 to get this watch for £2,900. Swiss luxury watchmakers are turning to the government to help them weather the downturn in demand. Gerard Perregaux has confirmed that they are one of the first companies to use this state-run program, a program that is designed to help retain the workforce in low demand periods. At the moment, they have put 15% of their workforce on this short time working scheme, or furlough scheme. It's a small watch crisis so far, slightly disconnected from the Swiss economy. Well, that's what Patrick has said, the chairman of the company. He also said that this year is going to be challenging. It follows similar moves by watch suppliers, which opted to take advantage of the government support to help navigate the industry slowdown after manufacturers' orders were cut. Now, under the scheme, the Swiss state pay up to 80% of workers' salaries as companies eliminate shifts and work hours in line with a drop in demand for their products. It's designed to prevent permanent job cuts for manufacturing industries such as watchmaking. Around 40 companies in the canton of Jura, a hub for watch component makers, submitted applications for short-time work compensation during the summer. Now, the head of the Jura Chamber of Commerce told a local newspaper, NZZ, the applications represent a significant increase from the start of the year when just 5 companies had applied. So what does this tell you guys? It tells you that the manufacturers of these luxury wristwatches are experiencing a downturn in demand, and therefore their subsidiary companies, the ones that supply them all the parts, who knows what they're making, are struggling as those companies themselves are reducing the orders. Less supply, less demand, less demand, less supply. It's a chain, guys, and it'll run down the chain. It'll get even worse, guys. You know, there'll be sandwich shops, there'll be whatever other subsidiaries that help those subsidiaries will all be suffering. What's of interest to me is a company like Gerard Perregaux needs to use this scheme. Who else is going to join this scheme? Only time will tell. I think it's a good thing that it helps keeps people in jobs and helps keeps that skilled labor base just in case the market starts to rise again. Do I honestly think the market's going to go up? Absolutely not, guys. I really don't. What I really think is going to happen is that more Rolexes will become available at authorized dealers, and therefore people who bought other brands because they couldn't get a Rolex are now going to buy a Rolex. My 2 cents, 2 to 3 years ago, you couldn't get a Rolex from an authorized dealer, and Rolexes were selling way above MSRP in the grey market. Companies like Omega and Cartier and Tag all benefited from, even Grand Seiko, people not being able to get what they wanted. Look at me, I bought a Grand Seiko Cherry Blossom because I couldn't get a Rolex Datejust, and I convinced myself it was just as good, and it wasn't, guys. So now that the economy is going down, I guarantee you Rolex watches will become more available from authorized dealers, and let's say they're not, well, in the grey market they're going to become less and less and less expensive. You are all now in a position to get your dream watches, guys, and my best advice to you is to watch the market, pick the watch you want, set yourself a buy price, and when you get the right one, buy it. If you've gotten this far, thanks very much. I appreciate it, because most people don't get to the end of any YouTube video. They just don't. Maybe because the video is boring, or maybe because they have zero patience. Right. Again, thanks for getting this far, and you are a very lucky subscriber. We're about to give you the first piece of the puzzle. You've got to watch each week, and you've got to write down the puzzle clue. This week's clue is the letter N. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for your continued support, and I will catch you all on the next video.